impossible coin. My name is totally not Brian Cartwright. Instead, I am the token girl, Tegan Somerset. And somewhere in West Texas, we do have a Mr. Rocky Hardy.
That's me.
Brian is not here. And also, we are not interviewing Dave Lang this week.
Oh,
because
damn.
Brian is not here.
Whoa, we actually broke a promise.
We broke 2 promises.
Oh, God, really?
Well, actually, technically, Brian broke 2 promises because he promised before that last week's show was going to be Dave Lang, and then he promised last week that this week's show is going to be Dave Lang.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't think we get to just blame this on Brian, because, I mean, if this is Brian's podcast and we're on the podcast, ipso facto, we're also responsible.
Yes, you are correct. But I just need everyone to know, like, we're sorry.
We're sorry.
Let me begin by saying we're sorry that Dave Lang is not here this week. He will be here sometime, maybe in August. The stars are just not aligning this summer for us. But that's just like Corona time, right?
Yeah, we can blame it on Corona. That's
yeah.
fine.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what happened, because, like, his schedule got funky last week, and this week, Brian's sick. He doesn't have Corona, though. I need to make that abundantly clear.
Brian does not have Corona.
No, we're just blaming it on Corona, because we can just blame 2020 on Corona.
It's true. We're doing it right now.
Yeah! Fuck it. God damn. It's the year of hindsight, man. Spanish flu, race riots, like, we're just looking back this year. We're hitting all of America's greatest hits.
I forgot about the Spanish flu.
It's very exciting. You also get a little bit of double food ASMR.
Oh, right.
Because I'm eating dinner, and Rocky is eating lunch.
It's true. I'm eating lunch. I have a very tall iced peach tea.
That sounds good.
And I also have shrimp fried rice that I threw bamboo shoots into. So.
Okay. I have a Reign energy drink and pizza.
What kind of pizza?
Pepperoni. Just regular pepperoni. I'm boring. I like one kind of pizza. I like 2 kinds of pizza. I also like cheese. But I don't like mixed foods.
Sure.
So, like, I don't like a lot of things on my pizza.
No, I get that. I'm actually much more comfortable, like, taking risks with food when it's in my own hands.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I am grateful for, in my years of pizza smithing, I found a couple of unorthodox pizzas that I liked. I became a big fan of this, like, savory pizza. I didn't use marinara for the sauce. I used garlic parmesan instead.
Ooh, okay.
And then standard cheese, but before I put the cheese on, so it's like garlic parmesan. I put spinach on it, but I put spinach underneath the cheese so it doesn't burn.
Ooh, okay. That's a strat.
And then I put mozzarella cheese over the top, followed by banana peppers, and then topped it with, like, salami. Mm-hmm. Which, like, has a similar texture to pepperoni, but, like, has a bit of a saltier profile, I think.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So I ended up with, like, a, like, very, like, savory, like, white sauce pizza. When I worked at Domino's, I liked to put it on a Brooklyn crust because it was fun to fold. So I got really used to that. And I realized that, like, we didn't really sell anchovies. I got interested in playing with them. So I was able to put together an anchovy pizza that isn't, like, categorically awful. Like, the problem with anchovies is that it's way too salty.
I mean, the real problem with anchovies is it's a fish. that's the problem with anchovies, but, like, yeah, if you want to say they're salty, like, that's also a problem.
For sure.
It's a secondary problem.
But what I did is that I had what almost came out to be like a margarita pizza. Which, you know, sounds like awful, like, when you think about it. Like, it's marinara sauce, still used mozzarella cheese more often than not, but I was able to use, like, a cheddar that worked well, and then I would top it with just, like, diced tomato and mushroom. Mm-hmm. That would, like, basically counteract, like, the saltiness.
Okay.
It was a pretty okay pizza. Like, I was able to make anchovies okay, which I was a little proud of.
Nice.
Here.
Anchovies are just whole fish. Disgusting. Small? Bad. No, thank you. Don't like fish?
Oh, man. So, Teeks, what's going on with you?
You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. A lot of anime. Because, of course, this past Saturday, important to no one but myself, was Odaiba Day. which is the big Digimon anniversary this year, 2020, right? Digimon's 20th anniversary.
Right.
Everything was canceled, of course, but instead they did DigiFest Online. DigiFest is like the big event that happens right around Odaiba Day. So like they interview the voice actors and they release a bunch of new merch and like that kind of thing. I have already purchased some and I can't wait for it to arrive. It's gonna be cute. 2018. I got the Woda Blade, the like light stick from DigiFest. It's shaped like a butterfly and then it lights up with all the different crust colors and Mako's Digivice color because like I guess, you know, she doesn't have a crest, it shouldn't count. And also Ken's crest wasn't it, so fuck it. Anyway, this year, they're re-releasing the Digimon Stitchies, which are like stitched doll versions of the Digimon. So they have like fake button eyes and stuff, and they're all wearing little bandanas that say 20 on them. It's so cute.
Okay.
But I got a makeup towel headband so that I can put on when I'm like washing my face and doing makeup. And it's Patamon themed, so it's got little ears on it. It's got little wings. It's so cute. That only came in Patamon or Tailmon patterning, so either you got little bat wings or you got cat ears, and there was no in between.
Wait, are those the cat ears you were talking about, or are they different?
No. So I started following a lot of cosplayers, not just like on TikTok, obviously, but also because like that's what I was initially there for, is cosplay content.
Mm-hmm.
But also like when, you know, everything was going down with TikTok, I followed a bunch of them on Instagram, and it turns out like a couple of them have these very nice cat ears. They're very, very nice cat ears. They look very good. They're like natural, but also anime. They're built in such a way, and the like fur on them is cut in such a way that they blend in with like a wig or your natural hairline like very well.
Okay.
And the headband that they're on is thin but also flexible, so you can hide it in your wig very easily.
Mm-hmm.
And like a bunch of these cosplayers had them, and I was like, one of these cosplayers has to be the one making them. Like, and they gotta be selling them to everybody, right? Maybe on a commission basis, something like that. Nope. There's two companies in Russia, and they're both making these cat ears, but they're doing like slightly different takes on them, and they're like between $100 and $300 a pair.
Okay, so
they are nice though.
There is a Russian cat ear company competition going on.
Yes.
Right now.
And there's also like a European one, but the European one has right now unreliable shipping to the US.
Okay.
Because of, you know, the coronavirus and everything else. And Brexit and the whole shebang. It's just a mess.
For sure.
So they're like, I have unreliable shipping to the US, and the Russian ones are like, yeah, no, we can get it. We can get it there. Like, 4 weeks max. We got you.
Okay.
It's very cool. One of them does like dragon styles and like that kind of thing. Like fake alien ones. And the other one is just like animals, but make them kawaii. So it's like pale blue with lots of bows on it. Or like they did a bunch of kitsune ones that had like fancy little kitsune mask design on it and like Japanese wind chimes. They're very cool. But they're also, again, between $100 and $300 before shipping.
I wonder what the cost per wear on like cat ears really ends up being. Because I remember when I was redoing my wardrobe during, I don't know, 2010 or something. Fuck, I haven't done my wardrobe in 10 years. Whatever. We'll do this
time.
Later.
Update that quarantine fashion. We're looking at baggy stuff and riot gear. Thanks, Hong Kong.
I'm kind of lit. That sounds dope. Well, like I bought a book because, you know, I was in my early 20s and I wanted to like be cool about fashion. And
right.
So like,
how to be cool about fashion.
I forget what it was called. But I remember it was published by like AskMen.com, which was like GQ minus back then.
Right.
Tegan, like, I read the shit out of that book. I like annotated it. I have folded covers and like highlights and all sorts of bullshit. It was like my guiding style guide for like the next 3 to 5 years. Now I'm a bit more comfortable. I can just buy stuff. But back then, Japanese denim was like a emerging fad. And it was extremely high quality, but also very expensive. It was like $400 for like a pair. And like the way that they were trying to justify it was like the cost per wear. Since Japanese denim was a lot more reliable because it was presumably better made, you'd end up wearing it for a longer period of time, and that cost would ultimately shake out versus something like, I don't know, Kmart jeans.
Yeah, versus like fast fashion.
And so like I haven't done those kinds of calculations in a very long time, but I would be interested to see like a cost per wear analysis of like various brands of cat ears.
Mm-hmm. Part of it is going to depend on, like, what you do with it. Say, like, you cosplay blonde characters all the time, for whatever reason. Just your favorite boys are all blonde. Or your favorite girls. I don't judge. So you cosplay the same style of character all the time. So you can buy one pair of cat ears and be like, look, I'm doing Nekomimi version. Like, easy peasy, no big deal. Or do you have a character like Todoroki where you gotta have, like, one white and one red ear, and you can only use it for Todoroki? Like, is it one of those things? Or is it like, this is a neutral color, I can wear it with every cosplay? And also, consider, are you the kind of person that will wear cat ears outside of cosplay and con situations? Because if you don't have those balls, and you aren't like a big fancy cosplayer, like, you probably don't need, like, that one very specific stylized pair of ears, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You can make do with, like, a cheaper set or like a higher quality like plastic or foam version as opposed to like the full fur kind of look. I am one of those people who wears cat ears in public.
For sure. Like,
I bought my first pair of cat ears in 2008 at my first anime convention, and they were like $45. They were plastic with like little tufts on the inside, and I wore them at restaurants, college, home, like, all the time. I wore them all the time.
Yeah, so you definitely got, like, a sub $1 cost per wear.
For sure. I got enough of a, like, cost benefit from it that I bought them in white the first year, and then the next year I went back, I bought them in black, orange, and, like, green with ribbons on them.
Okay.
Because that way I could, like, switch them out depending on what I was wearing. It was a little cringy. Like, I'll admit it, because they were very, very clunky, and I can't, like, I can imagine, like, my college professors were probably like, whatever, man.
Right.
Like, who gives a shit?
You're paying to be here, yeah.
You're paying to be here, but also, like, you're showing up, and I know you're showing up because you're the weirdo with fucking cat ears in my class, like, you know?
That is actually, well, I mean, I'm not going to say anything about your attendance, but
I showed up to every class.
Yeah, like, if you, like, suddenly didn't show up for some days, and there's no way you could, like, get away with that. Even, like, in a large enough lecture class, like, you're the girl that wears cat ears, like, I know you weren't there.
One year, in my second year of college, I went to college for, like, 6 years.
For sure.
6 years. Which is fine. The last year was a year abroad, it doesn't matter. But in my second year, I was in, like, a biology for majors kind of class.
Mm-hmm.
And the professor was really not having it with us that day for whatever reason. And so he ended lecture early, but said because, like, everybody was being so shitty, basically, what he was going to do was he was going to release us in stages. It's sort of, like, tied in with what we were doing, how, like, we were talking a little bit about, like, the ethics of genetics and that sort of thing, and how there were, like, there was a little bit of that, like, this is how people come up with, like, the master race sort of thing, and this is how that's, like, not true, and, like, you know, that whole thing.
Right.
And we were being so shitty during it. Well, the classroom, were being so shitty during it that he was like, we're gonna use this to release you in stages. And, like, whoever gets released first, like, that's when the real lecture information is gonna end, because it's not fair to, like, test you on stuff that's said after that. But everyone else better pay real close attention, or else you're gonna miss when you're, like, allowed to be dismissed. And the very first thing he said was, if you have red hair, you can leave. And I just, like, stood up, and then I looked around, I'm the only person, I'm like, okay!
Oh no!
Bye! And I was just like, I can't have been the only, like, good kid in this class. There's, like, 400 people here, there's no way.
That's OD.
But there's me just, if you have red hair, you can leave. And he goes, and I mean naturally red hair. And I just stand up and I'm like, oh, okay, bye. Whoops.
That's big terrifying. Jesus
It
Christ.
was, yeah. And then I'm just like, even though I wore the cat ears, like, I have a little bit of social anxiety when you're singled out like that, and it was just like, whoo.
Wait, you were wearing the cat ears then? Like,
yeah, of course.
Oh, man.
But, like, that's not the thing he called it. He's like, if you have red hair, you can leave. And I'm like, okay, bye. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I kept them in my bag, but I didn't wear them in that class after that. Because I was like, ooh, I'm already weird, but now I'm also, like, teachers. So yeah, anyway, so Odaiba Day, right? Mm-hmm. And so I got my new merch, and that was good. And I'm excited. And I might drop... I am thinking about getting, like, a Gretzko ears. Gretzko from a Gretzko.
Yeah.
The panda girl. Because the ears that I've seen for her are, like, very close to my natural, like, orange tone without being in the, like, cartoony orange category. Right. Even though sometimes my hair does get that, like, in the fall specifically, my hair gets that cartoony orange.
For sure.
I do not control the gene expression. But yeah, so I might do that. They're cute. I also might dye my hair blue. We'll see. I don't know.
So now I got that stupid TikTok audio where, like, it's like this girl and she's talking about how this guy opens up his Pornhub and it's like he's searching for blue-haired girls. Like, that's his most searched category. And then she's like, he's, like, salivating over me. And I'm like, holy shit. Like,
oh, God.
Good times. TikTok is a trip.
Yeah, TikTok is a trip. And it's really interesting to me, like, you and I send each other, like, a lot of the same things. Mm-hmm. Like, we're on, like, very similar, like, wavelengths of TikTok. One of my friends, I swear to God, is on straight TikTok. I swear to God. And I don't know how she got there, and I don't know how to get her away from there, but she sends me, like, the dumbest, cringiest shit all the time. It's wild. She sent me, like, this video of, like, a girl asking their grandma, like, about sex. And I was like, what?
For sure.
Why is that a thing? And, like, I tried to get her onto, like, nerdy TikTok. And, like, we did end up on cat TikTok, like, together. Cat and dog, like, pet owner TikTok, which is fine. Mm-hmm. But, like, I'm trying to get her, like, she plays D&D. I'm trying to get her on D&D TikTok. And it just, like, is not connecting for some reason. She's bi and I'm trying to get her on, like, LGBT TikTok. It's not happening. I don't know what's up. I don't know how to get her onto, like, better TikTok.
True.
You know?
You gotta get her to the promised land of frog TikTok.
Oh my God, I've been on frog TikTok. Frog TikTok's great. Oh God, I love TikTok. My favorite TikTok right now is Forager TikTok.
Okay.
There's a bunch of people who are, like, essentially, like, urban foragers, and they're like, these are normal plants that you can eat, and they just grow in people's yards as weeds or whatever. You can just get them. I found these sour cherries in a park. Am I supposed to be picking cherries at the park? Absolutely not. Am I doing it anyway?
Oh, yeah.
For legal reasons, I have to say no, I'm not.
For legal reasons. Oh, man. I would be interested in finding, like, blacksmith, like, metalworker TikTok. Because, I did, like, carpentry and, like, home improvement TikTok for the time that I was there. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they share a lot with, like, straight TikTok and non-nerd TikTok that, like, I eventually gravitated away from them.
That's fair.
I think I might want to spend more time looking into that stuff. I don't use a search bar that often. Like, I mostly just end up with stuff on the For You page, which, like, leads to a lot of thirst follows, which, you know, is neither here nor there. Might look into metallurgy.
I got onto jeweler TikTok for a little bit. That was weird.
What does jeweler TikTok do?
It's a lot of, like, hey, like, this is a piece I made way at the beginning of, like, my jeweler journey, and here I am remaking it so that it's, like, it's flashier, or it's more subtle, or, like, just the metalworking's better, or whatever. It's a lot like Dice Goblin TikTok, where you get to watch people, like, make and cure the dice.
True.
But it's just, like, rings, mostly.
Okay.
I think I got there from small business TikTok.
Okay.
But I'm not positive. It's weird that you could just, like, label these, and you're just like, yeah, I went to this TikTok and then this TikTok, without listing, like, any usernames. It's just like, I was here and here and here, and now I'm here.
I kind of hope that's, like, more the future of, like, content navigation. Mm-hmm. Or at least something like it, where, like, terms get, like, more democratized, I guess. I do want to talk to a jeweler, because I've always wanted, like, bangles. I've always thought they were neat.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never had bangles. It's the whole thing.
I mean, you can just get them. It's not hard. You can get a cheap set at, like, you know, not like Five Below, but like any like women's accessory shop.
True.
You can get a cheap set just to like wear around your house, see how you like them. And then you don't have to like invest in like actual stuff.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out. Maybe I'll like look for some thrift shop like bangles or something. But hold on. This is not a thrift shop podcast. This is a podcast about video games.
It is a podcast about video games. And anime. Can I talk about a video game anime?
Okay, go ahead.
So I am going to talk about Sword Art Online. If you don't like Sword Art Online, you're in good company. I don't like Sword Art Online either. I just like Asuna. And even then, I don't like Asuna. I just like her design. I just think she's neat. So the new Sword Art Online Alicization underworld thing started, or is ongoing. It's unclear as to which. And not only did they bring back tentacles for the beginning of this, the harem is self-aware that it is a harem now. Kirito's still comatose, but he's in a wheelchair for reasons. And literally, the plot is gamers rise up because the American government has released a virtual game that is collecting data from how players play the game to train an AI so that it can perform military strikes independent of, like, actual human input. And basically what happens is Japanese players of online games are being organized by the harem to literally flood the servers, the American servers, to give it bad data so that the AI can't ever fully mature, and then it doesn't take over and destroy the world.
Oh my god.
What the fuck? What happened? 1, why'd you bring back tentacles? 2, why is the plot gamers rise up? Please.
I feel like they're doing Skynet, but they like skipped a couple of steps. Like, no, this is just going to be obviously a bad idea. This isn't even like a potentially good idea with like bad applications. This is just a bad idea.
This is just a bad idea, and of course we're going to have America do it. Because we would. Let's be real, we would.
Yeah, Call of Duty is definitely going to be used to like populate the data of some like killer robot someday.
For sure.
There's no way that's not going to happen.
For sure. It's going to be whatever the first like Call of Duty VR full dive like situation is. It's going to be War Simulator, the actual war. When you die in the game, you don't die in reality, you just respawn.
Oh my god. And then, like, eventually, they're gonna do, like... Oh, I forget the name of that mission. But the one in Modern Warfare where, like, the game gives you an option to commit war crimes, and it doesn't explicitly tell you not to. It just, like, scolds you if you do.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna teach, like, the algorithms, like, oh, it turns out when they're put in the position are actually kind of okay with war crimes. But they will apologize publicly. Like, it's just, like, what if they make, like, fucking... AI politicians. Actually, AI politicians probably already on its way. But wow. Sword Art Online.
Yeah. They just, I don't know why I go into this ever expecting it's gonna get better when it just continues to get worse. But it's still so fun! I can't look away. It's delicious popcorn. I love it. Shinon kissed Kirito in front of Asuna, and it's just like, it's fine. It doesn't matter. He's in a coma in a wheelchair. What happened? How did we get here? I don't know.
They kept giving them money, Tegan.
They did keep giving them money. But yeah. Also, I'm playing a new mobile game.
Okay.
It is literally called Eyes. Like EYES, like eyes. And okay. It's basically Picross. It's basically Picross. But, like, it's got a badly translated English storyline. There's, like, a story mode. I don't know. There's a kid, and he ran into the woods, and he met a deer, and a deer bonked him on the nose with a glowing flower, and now he is also a deer. But he is also a human. But he is also a deer. And that's what I got so far.
Okay.
I've unlocked 5 chapters.
I tried to Google it, and I'm just getting this Eyes the horror game, so I'm glad I didn't interrupt you.
No, it is not a horror game. It's very much not a horror game. It's got very pretty art. It's got very pretty art that I enjoy a lot, and that's the entire reason I downloaded it. But, like, between every third and every fifth thing I complete, I get an ad.
Oh.
And the ads are either for Mr. Lover, which is that, like, otome dating sim that's not Mystic Messenger, but, like, sort of wants to be Mystic Messenger, but without, like, the real plot. And fucking Girls and Battlers 2.
Okay.
Girls and Battlers 2 is weird, from what I can tell. It's all, like, high school girl models, and they're, like, it's one of those things that, like, you know that Mafia game where it's, like, you start out as a level 1 nobody, and then you accidentally whack your boss, and now you're a level 100 mob boss? It's like that, but, like, every time the protagonist dumbass gets, like, everything is miserable, he, like, turns a gacha thing, a little gachapon machine, and, like, gets a fancy car and $1 million, and now he's a level 6 businessman or whatever.
Oh my god.
And, like, the girls chase him down the street in his Ferrari or whatever. And one point, the thing was, like, you're, like, a senpai and you're walking through a jail and, like, you can pardon girls. And if you pardon the girl, she, like, joins your harem. And then there was one of the, like, adverts where it was just, like, one of those, like, pull things, you know, where, like, you pull the pins out to, like, do different things and, like, you want to get whatever.
Right.
And literally it was, like, pull the pins out to give your girlfriend some toilet paper. And I'm like, what? What is going on? What is this? I don't know what this game is about. I don't know what this game is about. It's every awful mobile game in one.
That sounds exhausting, Tegan.
I don't want to check it out. Someone check it out for me.
Girls in Battle 2.
Girls X Battlers 2.
Okay. I think I found it. I know a guy that's into gacha stuff. I'll ask him to check it out for me.
I don't even know if it's a gacha game. Like, it looks like it's also part, you know that, like, Chinese, like, Empress game?
Right.
It's also that.
Okay.
It's also that.
Oh, man.
It's trying to be too many things. It's a gacha Empress dating mobile pinball simulator.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
There's a lot going on here.
I've gotten so many ads for it, and I just have no idea what it is. And then, like, that's not even, like, I have ads turned off on, like, my computers and stuff, but when I get on, like, mobile YouTube, sometimes I'll get an advertisement for it, and it's completely different to the ads that I get in this game for it.
Oh my god.
Where, like, the girls are the different mob boss stuff. And it'll be, like, level 1 schoolgirl, level 16 gym person, level 48 mob secretary. And I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Oh, god. This is big ridiculous.
Alex has messaged me and said it's none of the things that I mentioned.
Oh, okay.
So it advertises itself as all these things, but it's none of them. I don't know what it is. It's dumb.
Oh, God. Reminds me, like, I know, like, YouTube keeps trying to get me to play Arknights, and I'm not gonna do it.
Arknights, I've heard, is very good.
I don't think it's a bad video game. I just don't think it's my jam. And their advertising, like, seems to be designed specifically to piss me off. But, like, if their goal is to, like, try to tsundere me into trying their mobile game, it's not gonna work.
What kind of dere would get you into it?
I don't know. Yan? Dere, I guess?
Yan or dere? Because those are very different deres.
No, I meant both of those specifically.
Oh, okay. So either it's gonna threaten to murder you, or it's gonna be like, please, I love you. Please play my game.
And then I'll just be like, fuck it, fine, whatever. And then, like, yeah. Exactly how that goes. Fucking.
You heard it here first. Rocky either wants you to step on him or beg him to love you.
Oh, God.
There is no in between.
I probably need to, rethink some of the choices in my life. This Two Eyes Deer story, I think is what it is.
Oh, maybe.
Looks nice.
It's just, like, literally the app is just labeled eyes on my phone.
For sure.
It's very cute. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. It's very chill. Spent all night the other day doing it. Even though there's, like, an event going in Merge Magic, like, I don't care. It's just nice to chill. Brian, I know you like Picross. You should try it. Try the Picross. Try the anime Picross. The storyline makes no sense. It's fun.
I actually threw the money to, like, play some 51 Clubhouse Classics.
Yeah?
While it doesn't offer really new experiences, if you're, like, familiar with, like, tabletop or board games or whatever, they are extremely comfortable experiences. And, like, there are some things that I didn't think were going to work that well. Like, there's a slew of card games on 51 Clubhouse Classics. One of them is Speed, where you get, like, half the deck and you're just, like, sequentially throwing down cards in 2 piles.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably one of the best speed simulators I've ever played. Like, I've played a handful, like, over the years, but, like, that one's really good. And Hanafuda's, like, information was really clean and, like, presented well.
Oh, they have Hanafuda?
Yeah, Hanafuda's on there. I feel like I talked about it before. Like, I had, like, a Japanese app that was just, like, entirely in Japanese, and, like, I didn't know how to read, but, like, I figured out how to play Hanafuda via, like, context clues. Luckily, this game actually explained to me that the way that I can select which cards to grab is by, like, doing the appropriate, like, month, kind of like Suits, which I didn't understand initially, but now I definitely do.
Okay.
And, like, I knew, like, the combinations and stuff, like Bordeaux Butterfly, or, like, 3 Bright, 5 Bright, Seeds, and it's not called Stocks, but, like, it's, like, there's some generic plant thing that you can, like, group stuff into. And, like, Koi-Koing allows you to, like, add a multiplier if you can, like, build another, like, hand of some kind. Like, it's basically Jin Rummy. But so is, like, Rishi Mahjong. And I like the Rishi Mahjong on the Switch. I think it plays very well. I think I still prefer Final Fantasy XIV's Mahjong Simulator better. But it is pretty good and has a handful of tools that you can use, like seeing what hand you're close to building, and the Dora indicator, which, like, is like a sort of like a wild card thing that, like, goes on throughout the game. So that was nice. I played a handful of traditional games. I found out I'm actually pretty good at Mancala. I've played Mancala before, but I didn't know I was good at it. And, you know, I played some Solitaire, Spider, and normal Solitaire has, like, a prefix in front of it.
It does?
Yeah. So I know it's called Patience, which is, like, what they call it in France. But there was, like, a Klondike Solitaire.
Like a Klondike bar?
Like a Klondike bar. Exact same spelling.
Chocolate, ice cream, solitaire. Chocolate, ice cream, solitaire. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Do I get a Klondike bar for playing Klondike Solitaire? No.
No, not always.
Not unless I buy it myself. Lame.
Yeah, right. Rip. But yeah, I didn't know that Klondike Solitaire was, like, the actual prefix, but apparently it is, so there's that. The history stuff at the beginning of a lot of these games is also really good.
It tells you, like, the origins of the game and stuff?
Yeah, it gives you, like, a brief history, like, whenever you start the game, and, like, when you beat various difficulties, which Brian has mentioned before, goes from, like, normal to impossible. You get, like, little bits of trivia in addition to, like, the initial history. And I've gotten a handful already. Like, I've cleared the Mahjong, I've cleared Hanafuda, I did Speed, I did both Solitaires, I did Mancala, I didn't finish Impossible on, like, that line box drawing game, like, you know, where you have a bunch of dots and you have to draw lines, and if you complete a square, you get to cash it in. I'm actually currently struggling with a game that I know as Othello. That's how I grew up with it.
Is that that's the Oreo game, right?
Yeah, it's the Oreo game, where, like, the tiles are white and black, you flip them over. The strategy to that is, like, strange to me currently, because you do want to, like, prioritize, like, corners, because, like, corners are usually safe spots that can't really be flipped. And the absolute corners are, like, guaranteed. And so, like, the idea is that you don't, like, you're just trying to, like, put down pieces so that they don't, or you want to be like you want to avoid being the person that puts a piece adjacent to a corner, because then it can be flipped by your opponent. But also, every time you place a piece, you have to be able to flip something. And if you end up in a situation where there's no piece that you could possibly flip, then you just lose your turn and like your opponent gains initiative. So like it's about like momentum, but also like I don't know, avoiding like a like simple play. It's basically like edging, but a board game, and like I don't know how to deal with that right now, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been putting off playing some of like the more like simulation style games, or like, you know, I guess busier simulation game. I haven't really touched like darts or like, you know, toy cars or toy like boxing or toy tennis or like battle tanks and those things. And I hope they're good, to be honest. But for the two reasons I haven't messed with it is that, one, I don't feel like they're the main draw of the game. I actually feel like the board game stuff is really what we're there for. And two, I think that those like simulation games, especially like all the toy stuff, are better when you're playing with people with multiple switches. Because like you can do like mosaic mode with, say, like the toy car thing, and you can like set down an arrangement of switches and build a custom track to like race on.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. And like you can do that with like the tanks thing. I'm almost certain you could do it with like tennis or whatever, but I haven't tried it, so I don't know for sure.
It's similar to like what they did in, was it Mario Kart or was it Mario Party, where you could like put your switches together and like drive the little toad things around?
I think that's Mario Party. I think, but I'm not entirely sure. There's also like non-competitive stuff that's in there too. Well, I mean, obviously, because there's Solitaire, right? And like Spider Solitaire.
Right.
But I also found like a piano thing that you can use. And like, that's pretty intuitive, but it's kind of small. Like, you only get like, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 keys on like a single switch. But you can mosaic to like essentially make an entire piano. And if you like turn your switch upside down, it turns into a synthesizer, so you can play with synth effects. I wish, and maybe I didn't play with it for that long, so I don't know for sure. But like, I'd be interested to find out if I could drag like the piano around, or if I could like change keys and stuff. Because you know, I do mess around with piano from time to time, and I played like a couple of jingles, but I'm like, I need more notes than this. Can I have more than one octave? And I'm like, game's kind of saying no right now.
Maybe if you're good, you can have more notes.
Oh my god, fine. Like, I'll beat every single game, and I hope the game gives me notes. That's all I'm saying.
That's your reward.
Oh, I've been playing more Crosscode, and I, like, shed a tear this week. I shed a tear this week.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, like, you know, I came back from the spooky, like, external, like, world thing that was a legal game space or whatever.
Right.
And a couple things happened. One, apparently I was gone, or, like, the bot was gone for a week. And that wasn't clear initially. Two, remember how I said I was traveling with, like, a companion from my guild, and we saw, like, his home bedroom and, like, his place of business?
Yeah.
It turns out that wasn't the real dude. That was also, like, a copy of his consciousness. Because when I got back to, like, the normal game world, he didn't remember any of that shit.
What?
Yeah, so, like, the game's, like, gaslit me, like, openly, and that hurt my feelings.
That's wild.
And my initial party that I've been partying with, there was, like, you know, a hot-headed, like, brawler girl, you know, waifu, whatever. And she, like, she's angry at, like, the protagonist because, one, she ruined the raid by just disappearing. And, like, now, it's not that we both disappeared, like me and that other guy, so I had a backup. It was just this character that disappeared. So, as you know, the protagonist can't speak except for, like, simple words like hi or bye or yes. So she couldn't explain what happened, and I was really hoping that, like, Lucas, the guy that I thought went with me, would be able to explain it and then we'd be cool, but that absolutely did not happen, Tegan.
Oh no!
And she got really upset, And so, like, my party, like, basically broke up with me. And so, like, I couldn't, like, travel with them anymore. And
oh no.
So, like, I ended up, just going to, like, the third area because I really didn't know what else I was supposed to do. So I go to the third area, and I ended up in another duel with that dickhead dude that has the same, like, class that I have. And, like, I was so broken up about the thing, I actually lost my duel. Like, it was close, but I lost. Like, I was beating him, like, 5-0 before, and then I lost, like, 5-4. And then, like, his companion's, like, is like, hey, man, like, can't you tell that something's off with her? Like, she seems upset. And then, like, she can't tell them what happened because she can't tell anyone anything.
Mm-hmm.
But they offered a party with me for a little while, so I ended up partying with them until, like, I unlocked the new dungeon. And so, like, she's traveling through this new area, and there's new companions, and they have, like, unique dialogue, and I get to, like, get to know them a little bit. One of them's, like, a tank character, and the other guy shares my class. So, like, they have different combat, like, ideas, and they have different, like, strategies to, like, play with, because, like, we're both, like, mid-range with, like, a tank front, as opposed to, like, a brawler, a mage, and, like, someone that dances, like, an all-rounder. And so, like, I got to mess around with that for a while, and that was pretty cool. I found some new enemy types. I went to a city that's, like, in the middle of a rainforest, but it's, like, this weird, like, noir-style, like, city where it constantly rains. So, like, that was cool.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's in a rainforest. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Rainforest noir sounds like a weird subgenre of something. Like, I can't imagine LA noir taking place in, like, the Amazon.
Actually, okay, that's a new concept that I do want to explore. Like, I was thinking about it, like, but it's in the same, like, wheelhouse for me as, like, solar punk.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like those could be really interesting, like, spaces to explore. I don't know. D&D notes. Do that later. At some point, like, she rests for, like, the night, like, the bot, or, yeah, because I get, like, halfway through the quest line, and she has another one of those dreams that, like, I posted, like, on Twitter, and that's when it, like, clicked to me that, like, this is kind of, like, the bot is kind of, like, being portrayed as, like, a disabled, like, protagonist, because, like, she is essentially, like, unable to communicate effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the game, like, surfaces the idea that, like, there isn't going to be some magical moment in this game where, like, the protagonist is just able to, like, talk and speak like a normal person. Like, this is kind of what the story is about. Like, her inability to, like, communicate in this particular way is part of her character. And, like, the way that she adapts to it is, like, the way that most people adapt to the world with their own, like, idiosyncrasies. And I thought that was really cool. And then I got to, like, where I'm supposed to go to, like, the next, like, instance dungeon and whatever. The mage had, like, set us up. He invited both of us separately to show up, and so that we can reconcile our differences. The mage was, like, an intermediary who basically asked, like, some questions, like, yes or no questions that I could respond to, that essentially conveyed that, like, what happened during the raid wasn't intentional, and I wasn't trying to hurt anyone, and I was gone for reasons beyond my control, and I'm really sorry. And then, like, they reconcile, and then I shed my tear, and then we were starting to go into the dungeon, and then the guy who's able to program the individual words that I say shows up after just finishing the programming that would allow me to say sorry. Like,
what a dick move.
yeah, like, no, he was just like, well, I mean, I just finished it, and, like, she was, like, really mad. Like, she actually, like, shouts it at him, like, she's just like, sorry? It's like, yeah, no, I mean, I thought it would be useful. Sorry? And it's just like, okay, no, I understand it was a little late. It's like, bye. And, like, that was it. That's, like, the entire conversation. It's so good.
Oh, that's great. I love that kind of character development. That's a good time.
Then I'm going to go into this next dungeon, which I paused on because it looks really big. Because, like, the first two are, like, instance dungeons, but, like, it's more like you walk in the dungeon, you're done. And, like, I had, like, this interim thing, which was, like, the extra game, like, area. And now I'm getting to this, like, instance dungeon that's apparently two separate dungeons that, like, I unlock, like, MacGuffins for that lead me into, like, a big third dungeon. So, like, I'm really interested to see what this game is going to do with that stuff. And the first part of the dungeon, or, like, it basically branches evenly, like, I can choose which one. But on the left side, I have, like, a rainforesty dungeon that's, like, set on top of a lake. Like, it's just sitting on top of it. And the other side is, like, this dense, like, somber forest that's, like, populated with mushrooms that also happens to be the power plant for the Rainforest Noir City.
Ooh.
Yeah. this game's doing stuff. And, like, they've been doing stuff the whole time, but, like, they're still doing stuff. I don't think they're going to slow down. But, that's a lot of stuff I've been working on. That and, like, Apex. Apex is kind of a steady grind, you know, playing with, like, randos and shooters and whatever. And that's, like, a well-trod territory. There's not a lot new stuff to do there, or to talk about there. But, like, I'm stacking resources, I'm shooting people. Yeah, nah.
I mean, that's good at least.
Yeah.
At least, like, it's nice to have a game that's, like, familiar.
Right, yeah, no. That actually does feel good. I hate that, like, Where We Dropping Boys is like a meme at this point, but, like, I do like sitting down with the boys and asking where we're dropping boys.
Can I tell you something fun?
Go for it.
While I've been at work, I'm not going to be able to keep doing this because we have to go back to, like, actually answering phones.
True.
I've been listening to a bunch of different, like, podcasts. Like, normally I just listen to music, but sometimes I listen to some D&D. And I've been listening to this podcast called Dungeons and Daddies.
Okay.
And the storyline is, the arc is, there were 4 dads, and they accidentally drove into the Forgotten Realms instead of driving to their kids' soccer games.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so, like they were all carpooling together, and instead of going to their kids' soccer game, they drove to the Forgotten Realms, and now their kids are missing, and they have to get them back. That's the plot. Part of the thing, to rescue one of the kids, they have to enter this tournament for knights. They get to the tournament area, and they're like, okay, you have to take this winged carriage to the tournament area. Mm-hmm. And they get in the winged carriage, and they fall asleep, and they wake up, and they're flying over the tournament area.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh, yeah, because they're playing 4 Knights. They're playing Fortnite. And literally one of the kids is in the thing, and they're just like, so, yeah, Dad, where are we dropping? Like, what's up? I played this game once before, and I'm good at it. And he's like, he does, like, the fucking dances and stuff. But, you know, they're favoring versions, so, like, and it's, oh god, it's so stupid. There were different, like, zones, and they're labeled A through H, okay. And they decide to drop into Zone G, where the pub is. The pub in Zone G.
Oh no.
The PUBG, yeah! It was, oh god, it was dumb. It was super dumb. And, like, they end up going into Zone H, which has a haberdashery, and in the haberdashery is every hat you can get in Team Fortress 2.
Alright, Jesus Christ.
It was just good. I enjoyed it a lot, and I thought you would appreciate that. Also, yeah, Dungeons and Daddies, it's good. You like dad jokes do 1d4 psychic damage? Mwah. Perfect.
Dad jokes do.
They can't help it, they just make dad jokes.
Oh god. So this will be out by the time the podcast comes out, but I won't have a chance to play it beforehand. But I was watching a couple of streams of Fall Guys, and
okay,
it looks good. It's gonna be out on PS Plus. I feel like it is also like an Xbox Live Gold game. I don't remember. Alright, it's coming out on Game Pass or something. I honestly don't remember. But I know it's coming out on PS Plus on Tuesday the 4th, and I'm gonna be in on it. And I was watching some streams that people were doing, like, in the beta access on Steam. Or they were playing on Steam, I was watching it on Twitch. And the format seems really good to me. Like, it starts off as just, like, a straight-up, like, rush-the-end platformer. And, like, a third of the people that, like, initially sign up are, like, they're going to be eliminated because they're just not going to get there. Like, they're going to take, like, the top 44 people or whatever.
Okay.
And then after that... there's, like, an option where, like, you don't get to choose, but, like, you'll either end up in a team-based game where you're chopped into teams of 3, and there's a couple of those. Like, the one that was most memorable to me is where, like, you're kind of playing Hungry Hungry Hippos, but, like, with eggs.
Okay.
And, like, each of the Fall Guys will, like, run into the center to grab an egg, and then try to take it back to your, like, home base, but you can also jump into other teams' like pockets and steal their eggs, and if you can run away and throw it into your thing, it counts for your team. But as soon as, like, an enemy player is, like, holding an enemy egg, it no longer counts towards the pile. So it's just kind of in limbo until it's put into a new pile.
Okay.
And like, for defense, you can, like, grab, say, like, a Fall Guy that's running away, and, like, if you can hold them long enough, they'll drop the egg. I think like players can try to wiggle out of it, but I'm not entirely sure on the mechanics there yet. Or you can like it'll be another like an elimination match type of thing. I should say like the team of like the Hungry Hippos thing, the team that has the least amount of eggs, that whole team is just eliminated. So like that's still 15 people.
That's a lot of people.
Right. When you sign up for it, like it's a series of mini games. In the first mini game, you lose 15 people. In the second one, you lose about 15 people. If you don't do like a team-based game, then you do like an elimination-based game, which of the ones that I saw, I think the ones that I like the best, where like you're basically on a rotating cylinder that has like gaps and like walls in them and like other obstacles. And the first like 15 people to like fall through that are eliminated. And then like everybody else gets to continue. And then there's like another like linear platforming space that you do. And then the final thing is like sort of like an arena based one. I didn't see a lot of those, mostly because I was doing other stuff, but I did see one where like there are basically like several like floors like made up of hexagons like stacked on top of each other, but like with space in between, like that one like Tekken stage where like you can slam people down into lower levels.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you stand on a hexagon, it'll like hold you for like a second, but then like it'll fall and then you'll fall to like the next level. And like there's like, I don't know, 5 or 6 like layers of like hexagon plates that you can stand on. And the last person to be like not in like the abyss below wins the Fall Guys.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So like it's more like it's still Battle Royale, but instead of like a continuous like competition type of thing, like most other iterations of Battle Royale thus far, it's more like a round based like elimination show type of thing. Like it's very, well, I mean, it's obviously like kind of like MXC, but it's like if MXC was like a Battle Royale.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really interested. I wanna mess around with it and see what that feels like. I'm gonna be on Tuesday. I might actually stream if anyone's interested in that. But that's what I'll be doing.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys. Okay, Tegan, you want to talk about news?
Yeah, I guess. It looks like I only see one news story, so like, but it looks beefy.
It's going to be kind of big. We have a lot of things to talk about. But let me take this break in the middle. Hey, everyone. Once again, we do have a Patreon, and you can throw money at us, and you can see our show notes. This one comes with citations, and you can find us at patreon.com/Impossible Coin Podcast. In addition to seeing our show notes, which sometimes come with citations, but otherwise come with, like, you know, goofy images or other things that we talk about over the course of the show. You also get access to our watch-alongs and other special bonus content, like audio essays. They're not video yet. We are developing the technology. I think that's all I wanted to do for Patreon. Do we do anything else here, Tegan?
I don't think so. Just mostly Patreon. We shout out our subs.
Okay. Oh, so right. We have subs.
Big Soch. Yeah, Big Soch is our sub, for sure. He does all the music.
True.
He's awesome.
Joe Spiro, friend of the show, frequent guest. And also, that's right. It's Wifeologist's sake. He is the premier wifeologist.
Debatable.
Oh no, someone's coming for his crown.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh god. Okay, so I have a story, and the headline is that Microsoft is trying to buy TikTok. This past Friday, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, was reportedly considering an order that would force TikTok's Chinese parent company to divest its U.S. operations. Microsoft is reportedly interested in buying the app, according to the New York Times. Now, there are concerns relating to TikTok as far as the U.S. government is concerned. One is Chinese ownership, which has some history. In an interview with Fox News that aired on July 6th, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, said users who download the app are putting, quote, private information in the hands of the Chinese Communist Party. Also, since then, the U.S. Army and Navy have banned service members from downloading the app to government-issued phones. Some companies have followed suit.
Can I just say that doesn't sound like news because, like, the military bans you from having all kinds of shit. But also, if it's a government-issued phone, that's like a work phone. Why would you put personal shit on a work phone?
It's kind of tricky. From what I understand is that government-issued phones are allowed certain apps. And it's true that there are a lot of things that are restricted compared to, say, civilian phones. But them going out of their way sounds more of like, is probably more sensationalist than like is really being led on. And I know that like specifically the Army and the Navy have publicized this decision. The Air Force and the Marines have not said anything about it, but from what I understand, both of them have much stricter like cybersecurity concerns and like probably is already blanketed by other policies.
Gotcha. Okay.
Also late last month, the U.S. House of Representatives voted to bar the use of TikTok on all government-issued phones. And the measure is expected to pass the Senate as well. This is a little different because it doesn't only cover phones that are used by employees of the government, but also any phones that the government issues, which, while the government isn't really in the business of like handing out iPhones, occasionally they do offer smartphones to low-income communities because it's cheaper than, say, like buying them a computer and like a handheld phone. And so like that would also cover those people as well. In addition to concerns regarding Chinese ownership. Actually, sorry, I kind of skipped over that. So those are government responses to the ownership issue. The issue itself is that TikTok is owned by a Chinese venture capitalist firm called ByteDance. They are actually situated in the Chinese mainland, and they bought what later became TikTok, which was an app called Musical.ly that folded in 2017 for $800 million, for anyone who cares.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Since then, they've basically retooled, rebranded, gave a lot more powerful tools to users, and now it's TikTok, and it's been growing steadily over the past couple of years. The concern is that the Chinese government, which practices complete and unmitigated surveillance, has been known in the past to demand companies in their borders to turn over data so that they can expand their network. And there have been intelligence reports that China is putting together some sort of database that can gather, or that can basically search through private citizens. And they've benefited from things like the Experian leak that released social security numbers and like credit information, and also a leak with the OPM, the United States Office of Personnel Management, which has information relating to who works within government. And that, combined with some of the location data and other identifying information that TikTok would have access to, potentially, they may be able to find information about, say, government employees that would be easy to blackmail, or people, private citizens in the United States that would be vulnerable to other like demands if they have that combination of information. So it is a real threat. That is something that they are distinctly concerned about. However, this particular administration has been opposed to TikTok politically and may even be seeking retribution. When asked about a TikTok ban, Trump said, "It's something that we're looking at, yes." And during the same instance, which was an interview with Gray Television's Greta Von Susteren, which is in our show notes, he was asked about Mike Pompeo's remarks, and he said, "It's a big business. Look, what happened with China, with this virus, what they've done to this country and to the entire world is disgraceful." And while, definitely connecting some lines
he has room to fucking talk, though.
Yeah, no, obviously. Like, Trump... Trump is definitely wrong about the coronavirus, and he has been for a very long time. But it is also an easy way to score political points by picking an enemy and punishing them for it. And the same way that like U.S.-China relations haven't been great, like for example, the New York Times is definitely banned in China, and the United States is looking to ban a swath of apps that come from China. TikTok is simply one of those that's on that list. In addition, Trump and Pompeo's remarks came after TikTok users and K-pop fans publicly claimed that they helped to spoil attendance at a June presidential rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, by reserving thousands of tickets online with no intention of attending. Trump supporters do have a visible presence on TikTok, and so banning the app may also work against him in an election year, but I think he may score more political points because the conservative base doesn't spend that much time in like cutting edge social apps anyways. America isn't exactly alone in opposing TikTok either. India actually recently banned the app in their country following a border conflict with China that left 20 Indian soldiers dead. Not the same wheelhouse, but stuff is going on. Australia has already barred public officials from downloading the app, and they are currently pursuing a nationwide ban over surveillance concerns. And hours after these reports, which happened, I think, July 31st, that Friday? Yeah. Trump told reporters aboard Air Force One that he'd prefer to ban the app, which is, something that's been floating around for a while. And he actually said, according to CBS News, we're banning them from the United States, referring to the app TikTok. A transcript of the Pool report, which is a report that's shared by media outlets, said that Trump suggested that he could use emergency economic powers or an executive order to ban the app, which is, true because, he could just cite national security. Bush did something similar in like 2002. And TikTok has been trying to appear as forthcoming as possible over the past few months. In 2009, TikTok said in a blog post that all U.S. data is stored in the U.S. with a backup in Singapore. And they've referenced a couple of these servers, one, I think, particularly in Virginia, pretty often. And TikTok has also said all of its data centers are outside of China, and none of its data is subject to Chinese law, which, neither here nor there. They also gave a statement in July 22nd revealing their plan to add 10,000 jobs in the U.S. over the next 3 years in engineering, sales, content moderation, and customer service in California, New York, Texas, Florida, and Tennessee to try to, sweeten the deal, to maybe get them to be left alone. But the reason I'm talking about this at all is that following Trump's remarks on Friday about a TikTok ban, TikTok parent ByteDance floated a proposal, reportedly. Like, it's not enshrined, but it's like people coming forward, and it ended up on Reuters, saying that they would completely divest TikTok's U.S. operations, and Microsoft would take charge of those operations and of protecting the data of U.S.'s TikTok users. So, ByteDance, which is the Chinese entity that most people are worried about, would no longer own TikTok's American operations. They would back off completely. And if Microsoft becomes the sole U.S. operator of TikTok, this becomes important for a couple of reasons. One, Microsoft would have a popular, mobile-focused, streamable social media platform with footholds in both the Play and App Stores. And they are rolling out a streaming gaming platform, xCloud, in the near future that has mobile functionality. With the right management and investment, if they let TikTok do what TikTok does and maybe add a couple of things that don't blow up the whole platform, they could position themselves to compete with Amazon's Twitch and Google Stadia at the same time.
Ooh.
One of the things that I've actually been thinking about a little bit is that they may also be able to do some of the things that Stadia promised that they just weren't able to do. Like, imagine xCloud functionality where you're watching someone's live stream and then you swipe up and then you're playing your own xCloud game. Or
that sounds like exactly what they need, honestly.
Especially since Microsoft just shut down Mixer and basically try to give their, it's probably not the best thing that they try to give their viewers to Facebook gaming, but a lot of them just didn't go. They obviously weren't super excited about it. But if TikTok, 18 months from now, ends up having functionality with xCloud, and now it's a part of Microsoft's emerging ecosystem built on their like Azure framework, they could actually realistically fight against Twitch. And if their game functionality is good enough, they could take Stadia's market share. Like, these are things that could all reasonably happen if they do it right. But once again, this may not even happen at all, because the risks to national security and the privacy of civilian Americans are very real, and they're not exactly alleviated by American ownership. While it's true that they may not be contributing to this so-called database that China's potentially putting together, domestically owned companies like Facebook, like Google, like Snapchat can and do collect similar amounts of data from people. The major thing that has been put into focus lately is that China may be involved. They're a foreign power, and they probably shouldn't know this much about Americans, let alone our government employees, let alone private citizens in America. But these kinds of things are not going away. Like, we probably need to have more realistic discussions about cybersecurity in both legislative but also private and like local levels.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Microsoft might buy TikTok, and they might not. Before this morning, essentially, Microsoft was going to buy TikTok. ByteDance would still be involved, but since TikTok may not be in the U.S. altogether, ByteDance says, you know what? We will let go of TikTok as long as it still exists, which is weird, definitely. But if TikTok wants to survive that bad, and maybe they offered something good enough to ByteDance that they're interested in taking that deal, I would be interested to see what the White House does about it.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. But I'm really interested in like the motivation behind this purchase, because there's no way this deal is fresh. Yeah, Mixer was being cycled out like, I don't know, a month ago. That seems to sound to me that they weren't giving up on streaming altogether, but they likely had another plan. And it's true that like Mixer didn't perform as well as they did, but it's not like Mixer losing money was like the worst thing for like Microsoft's strategy right now. I think they could have eaten that money if they wanted to. The reason they didn't maybe was because this TikTok thing was like getting closer to being real.
I mean, I think it still could be real.
Yeah, I think so too. Initially, when I started researching this, I was thinking that like it could have been like collusion and like, just like Trump basically trying to bully ByteDance out of the conversation. That still might be happening, but it would be really short-sighted to like put this on like Trump and his administration alone and ignore the actual cybersecurity concerns that are being surfaced about this issue.
I still think Trump is mostly mad about how people have been using TikTok to organize.
I think that's really important. One thing that I have been seeing is that Microsoft has been interested in buying TikTok for a bit, but that's just recently coming to light. Like, I think they've only started talking about it this past weekend. And when like some of these deals are like showing up, they're not commenting like on whatever Microsoft's involvement may be, which is fine. Like, it's a smart thing for Microsoft to do, but I wouldn't be above saying that like Trump may be in some sort of deal with Microsoft and they're just keeping it hush hush. Because, Microsoft and the U.S. government does have a like working relationship, and it's not explicitly corrupt, but like I do know that Trump is explicitly corrupt, and I don't think he'd be worried too much about doing something like this if like someone like Microsoft had a plan that it wasn't exactly tied to him, but I don't know for sure. He has also explicitly said that he doesn't care if an American company buys TikTok. He's totally going to ban it, which could be a bluff or could be honest, but I'm not going to bet on Trump being honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, honestly.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there, though. Oof.
Yeah. I honestly do hope that, TikTok continues to exist, and maybe Microsoft buys TikTok but just kind of hangs out and just gives them a bit more money, at least for like a year or so, until like xCloud is like ready to go, and then it doesn't like affect like the current TikTok experience.
I really like the TikTok experience.
It is legitimately great.
It's legitimately getting me through quarantine. Even though we're not like really quarantined, we're about to be. Don't kid yourself. We're about to be quarantined again. Like, for real. Like this morning, my so like we all know I have a Google phone. Like Google's gonna take over the world anyway. Eventually, like I may as well just give my data now. God
damn it, Tegan.
All hail our new overlords, Google, the Google-doos. So my Google phone does this thing where it surfaces news stories for me.
Right.
Based on stuff it knows I like. So it's like, today's is Digimon canon divergence and why it's good for the show itself. The new bugs and fish that are releasing in August. And more people are dying from coronavirus every day than were killed in the World Trade Center. And I'm like, wow, what a juxtaposition!
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. Like we're just doing like a daily 9/11 at this point.
It's so good. It's so who needs that? And then also like right underneath that, it's like, see is the, like 19,000 more Americans could die from COVID-19 in the next 20 days. What? What? That's too many people.
It's way too many people.
Just pay us to stay home. Just pay us to stay home. Like, I get not everybody can stay home, I will still have to work. I don't have to go to work, but I will still have to work. Grocery store people will still have to work. But, like, there have been so many bailouts recently, and, like, it just astounds me that, like, we are still suffering so badly, and everyone else is fine and, like, moving on at this point. I say everyone else, meaning, like, mostly European countries that took, and Asian countries that took coronavirus seriously.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Wild. Anyway.
Jesus, I forgot what I was just thinking. Oh, right.
Sorry.
TikTok's downloads also spiked because of coronavirus. If I remember correctly, I think the US has 110 million people that downloaded TikTok.
I believe it.
Yeah, that's like what, a third of the country that just has TikTok on their phones. And I'm really interested to see what they'll do if like a ban did happen, because there's a couple of things that could happen. One, they could just say no one's allowed to use TikTok, and a bunch of people could use TikTok, and then they could try to like impose like fines of some kind. But the issue is that like unless there's like an applicable law, which I don't think there is, they would need to write a new law and like impose a ban.
That's gonna take so fucking long.
Right.
They can't agree on anything.
Well, like
literally anything.
Also, a weird thing is that apparently there's bipartisan support for banning like TikTok on like government phones. Like they just did that.
I mean, that's fine. That makes sense.
But another thing that was like tossed around is that they could potentially like block TikTok's like IP on a national scale, which is a thing that can be done. But I don't remember if there's anything that literally has allowed that to happen before. Like I can't think of like an application of that law, but it's like it's within is it in the Patriot Act? It's either the Patriot Act or something close, where you could just where the government could block like an IP at like the national level.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Patriot Act.
And then like what would allow people, I guess like the only way to use TikTok at that point would be, dodging your own API and like bouncing someplace, like kind of like, well, like VPN usage essentially. Or I guess like, I don't think there's a dark web for apps, but I guess there could be. And then like TikTok being a dark web app seems kind of wild to me. Don't know what that would look like, but I am mildly interested.
That is certainly a different future.
Yeah. I'm actually just flabbergasted that, like, ByteDance is just like, yeah, you know what, we'll sell the whole thing to Microsoft. Like, whatever. And I feel like that's kind of, if I were at Microsoft, which I'm not, guaranteed, not at Microsoft, but if I were at Microsoft, I would have tried to buy the whole thing from ByteDance months ago. And I am not a great negotiator, so I have to assume they've already tried this. And, like, ByteDance obviously has, like, a stake. They want to stay in it. They poured 2 years into it. And, like, the way that, like, its user base has exploded, it's, like, ripe for valuation. And, like, they could sell, like, even if they did as well as, like, Snapchat, right? Like, Snapchat, like, started at, like, an $11 share price, and then it became like a multi-million dollar, well, like hundreds of millions, like I think nearly $1 billion enterprise, like in the space of a week.
Mm-hmm.
And like TikTok could probably just as easily do that, except in this case, TikTok doesn't have a Kylie Jenner that could say TikTok is boring and then they lose $1 billion. Like, I don't think that'll really happen. So if I am interested to see how the negotiation with Microsoft goes, because if Microsoft has already like debated like, hey, we wanted to buy the whole thing, ByteDance says we want to be involved, and if they sell the thing just so they can complete the deal, like so they don't lose all of their money like potentially from Microsoft is obviously getting a discount. And like that's also like something that like fueled like the idea of like collusion. Like all the president has to do is like really threaten to ban TikTok, and like if he seems serious enough, maybe they'll cave. But, like, I feel like the Senate and at least, like, the House, which is, like, Democrat-controlled right now, may be a bit more independent and not in on the conspiracy. But, same thing happened to Grindr a couple years back. And, like, it's not completely unheard of.
Could you imagine with me,
Mm-hmm.
people are already pissed and bored. And, like, I've seen the sentiment, of course I've seen it on TikTok, where people are like, the only thing keeping me inside at this point is, like, the serotonin I'm getting from TikTok. Could you imagine just all those people also rioting?
I'm very interested in, like...
They just join they're like, Black Lives Matter, defund the police, ACAB, whatever. Also, like, fuck you for banning TikTok. Just, like,
also,
one more
like,
thing.
Evictions are starting up again this month.
Oh, God, they are.
Yeah, and, like, it's estimated that there will likely be, like, 30 million evictions.
That's too many.
That's about 1 in 10 people in America that will be evicted from their homes, like, in the coming months. And if that happens, like what is the number? It's only like 2-3% of a population you need to like start a revolution.
Yep.
And like I don't know, that's like 60 million people in America, and like even if half of them get mad enough over just like how rent works and how fragile like this has all been, like something's gonna happen. That's all I'm saying. They may not be able to organize on TikTok anymore, but I'm sure they'll figure something out. Life finds a way.
Like, I don't understand why this is hard. Running the government, I'm sure, is hard. Like, I'm sure it's difficult, but also, like, I feel like not spending a bajillion dollars on your military and, like, investing that in your people is a way to keep them happy and, yourself not in a strenuous situation. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but Tegan, that's what the nationalism's for.
I see.
It's like we could pay people to stay home, or we can tell people they're serving their country and do nothing. Which one costs less, It's just like, ugh.
I mean, ultimately the nationalism will, because of the decrease in the workforce.
Yes, that is absolutely
like,
true.
Ultimately, that's the one.
Oh my god. But yeah, like... Jesus, I was thinking about coronavirus' season finale, but I am a little worried about America's season finale, whatever that ends up being.
Well, if we're acknowledging the fact that 2020 is just the year of hindsight, I think the next thing literally is the American Revolution. Or, like, it's either the American Revolution like if you go further back, or it's going to be like something akin to like civil rights and like civil war, somewhere in there.
No, honestly,
maybe not quite like Civil War status, but like similar sentiment, I can imagine.
Like if we end up in fucking like the American Revolution 2 Electric Boogaloo, I'm gonna lose my shit. That one's too much. Like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, you never know. Don't discount it. 2020 has been full of surprises. Also, I found out the Murder Hornet, speaking of things that are coming back, like the Murder Hornet subplot is coming back.
Okay.
Washington State has officially captured and detained its first Murder Hornet. They caught it, and they killed it, and they don't think it had time to, like, create a nest or anything.
Okay.
So, like, that is coming back. That plotline is surfacing again.
Tegan, did you ever watch Hunter x Hunter?
I have not yet.
Oh, God. I'm sure you're aware of, like, the chimera ants.
Yes.
Yeah, like, I swear to God, if we get chimera ants for Halloween, Tegan, I mean, we're not gonna. That's not real. That's absolutely insane.
I don't know.
But what if it did?
But what if we had chimera ants for Halloween?
Okay, I might be doing a lot here, but, like, what if we ended up with chimera ants in, like, it'd have to be someplace isolated. So, like, I don't know, waterlogged sections of Michigan? Or, like, Jesus. I mean, they wouldn't live in Alaska. It's way too cold.
They could be, I guess, below the surface.
Oh, Jesus. That would be...
That's how we know global warming is officially out of control, is the chimera ants surface from below the frozen wastelands that are, Antarctica. Alaska. Whatever.
Oh,
Whatever
man.
state that is.
That's right, everything's melting, also, so, yeah.
Everything is melting.
Well, Tegan, that's why you should try, Little Debbie strawberry shortcake rolls.
Yeah, well, I can.
Because we're running out of time.
Oh, fuck me.
I also have a couple of them next to me, that's why I remembered. Thank God. Oh, God. But yeah, like, sorry, so TikTok... may be banned in the US, but if it doesn't get banned in the US, Microsoft will control it in the US, and maybe they'll put it in xCloud, which may fight Stadia and Twitch in the future, which Microsoft has publicly stated that those two companies are who they consider their real competition at this point.
Imagine if Google swooped in and bought it.
Oh, they'd be so angry.
Integrated, like, TikTok and Stadia and fucking YouTube.
That'd be interesting, honestly. I hope they don't just straight up blend it into the YouTube app. The reason I want Microsoft to have it is because I think Google would try to spin it too much.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it'll either succeed or it'll definitely fail. But, like, TikTok on its own already has momentum. And so, like, I'd prefer Microsoft's position as kind of like a benefactor. Where they're just like, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. You need a little bit more cash. I'll hand you this. And then like a couple, 18 months, 2 years from now, they're just like, hey, TikTok, I need a favor.
That would be interesting. I'd be okay with that. There are people doing some wild shit on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, TikTok is... I'm not saying Vine... I'm not saying it's better than Vine. But it's definitely got, like, a similar flavor profile. But, like... People's editing is wild.
The editing is so good, actually.
You've seen I know you've seen the Flash stuff where it's like an anime frame and then a person and then an anime frame and then a person. Yeah, that's my favorite thing.
It's like...
Yeah! It's,
like that shit.
Oh, it's so good. And they're always so good. And I love seeing everybody's, like, all the little skits and stuff. Like, YouTube no longer surfaces that shit.
That's true.
It's really annoying because, like, I never see anything new. I just see, like, the same stuff that I normally watch, but I can't, it's just not on my subscription page. It's on the like, main page. Whereas, like, it's always something different on my For You page.
Right. Like, all I'm watching on, like, YouTube is basically just anime OPs at this point.
I have a couple of creators that I, like, still follow that I've been following since, like, 2007. But for the most part, it's just, like, it's just something to have in the background now, which, like, isn't as fun. You know, it's not that it's not engaging me, it's just that it's not interesting because it's all the same stuff. I miss when the YouTube algorithm actually surfaced, like, new stuff that was doing well. That wasn't just, like, major creators.
So, like, one of the things that I'm really wary of now is, like, when algorithms get, like, really defined, right? They tend to just do the same thing forever, and then they try to bend the data to their algorithm instead of the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
The statement from, like, Spotify CEO stands out to me, where he got on a stage someplace and told people, if you're an artist thinking that you can just, like, make an album every couple of years, that's not going to cut it anymore. And, like, that's obviously, like, what Spotify wants to avoid. Spotify wants, like, artists to put out music, like, every 3 months and, like, have it cycle in so that they can, like, feed music to new people and they can pay, like, artists, like, cents every, like, 100 plays or some bullshit. But, like, music is with various artists, and I mean, I don't have, like, a metadata study, but I've definitely seen over, like, the decades I've been listening to music where, like, artists that, like, put out their first album is, like, really good because it's, like, the result of, like, years of work. 5 to 7 or whatever. And then the next year they put out, like, a sophomore thing and, like, they just didn't have the stuff for it. Or, like, over years, like, if they're doing repeated releases, that's not even just, like, music, it's art. It comes back to video games when they were, like, putting out, like, a Call of Duty or an Assassin's Creed every year. Like, the whole, like, project suffered, and it's because it didn't have enough time to breathe or develop or iterate because they needed to get the next thing out so they can collect their $60 this year or whatever. And how it relates to algorithms, specifically to stuff like YouTube and Spotify, is that, like, when they get to a point where, like, the algorithm is doing what we think it's supposed to be doing, now we just need the content to keep doing what we want, is, like, antithetical to, like, the idea of content creation to begin with. And, like, it's only going to serve to, like, cannibalize the medium that they're trying to bet their livelihood on. And, like, they should fucking know better. Like, Jesus. But, you know, luckily everyone's been roasting that Spotify quote. So, like, hopefully they'll take the hint. But if they don't, maybe throw some more money at, like, your favorite band's Bandcamp. That's all I'm saying. Buy their vinyl and, like, their merch and shit. Like, give them as much direct money as possible if you want them to succeed, because that's probably what it's going to take.
Mm-hmm. Support artists. Support people who aren't backed by big labels. Hey! Big labels got money they can throw at them. You know?
True. Yeah. Like, they're going to make their money. They don't, like, Columbia Records doesn't care about what I think is music. They don't. They're not going to, like, bend their business practices if I think they're killing my favorite artists. I just got to save my favorite artists. That's the only thing I can actually do. Because, like, they're going to do whatever makes them money, which is, I don't know, whatever the fuck they're doing now.
Making money? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I assume. But, you know, art's in danger. Like, you know, they're airing movies on Fortnite and, like, the Spotify nonsense. And YouTube has been getting kind of stale. Not to talk about the gaming industry again, because, you know, this is only a gaming podcast. But I did see, like, a conversation emerging around how programmers who are passionate about video games, when they talk to people in the industry, what they learn from it is that they probably shouldn't get into the industry. Mm-hmm. And that fucking sucks.
It really does suck.
I'm very interested in what I can do as a consumer to make the industry of video games better for the people that make video games. And, like, if I have to go to fucking France and kick Yves Guillemot in the teeth, I will.
I think we do. But first we have to get France to let us back in. Where are those people outside the gates? Let me in!
I'm actually really mad. I just got, like, I got my fucking passport, like, what, 3 years ago? Mm-hmm. And now it's, like, I mean, the U.S. passport was, like, okay. It was, like, still in the top, like, I don't know, 30 passports that could be used. And now it's, like, actual bottom tier.
Yep.
Like, it's about as worthless as, like, Uzbekistan.
I got mine renewed this year.
Yeah.
I renewed my passport in January. Because I was like, oh yeah, this year I'm going back to Japan. Haha, joke's on fucking me.
Ugh, God. So, I don't know. I don't know what our time limit is. I wish there was like a giant clock that tells us, like, America, this is how much time you have to get your shit together. And a bunch of us will procrastinate. That'll absolutely happen. Not going to question it at all, but at least I know.
Isn't that what the doomsday clock is, basically?
I mean, sort of, but, like, it's not. I don't feel like it's definitive nor, like, comprehensive. Like, it's just saying, like, we're pretty close to fucking everything up. But it's not like we're getting a timer. It's just, like, how close are we to fucking everything? It turns out, really fucking close. Like, I think we're, like, 6 seconds from midnight or something.
We're 100 seconds from midnight.
Okay, thank God.
That's not that great.
No, it's not.
That's a little over a minute.
Right, but I was thinking one D&D turn. So, like, I was...
I mean, you know, it's still, we're really fucking getting there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I think this is around, like, the mood space that Brian would have us end the show.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'll do the outro. Hey, everyone. Once again, this is our show. It's called Impossible Coin. We do it every week. Brian's not here this week. Please give him your well wishes and cat videos. I'm sure he would appreciate it. You can find us wherever podcasts are found, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Brian would bitch about SoundCloud. He actually posted something on his Twitter, @SemiFakeGods. That's where you send the cat videos. And he still hates them because of how annoying SoundCloud is with our weekly uploads. But we're getting them to you, to the one person that is sometimes on SoundCloud to download our show. There is music at the beginning and end of this podcast. It's produced by our friend Big Sach. You can find him on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/BigSachNJ. And he is also on Twitter, if you want to talk to him directly, at Hillary_Swank. Our logo is also a t-shirt, and it was designed by Lauren Moran. You can find her on Twitter at Lauren Moran, and consider donating to her Patreon. She does the good business. And as we mentioned earlier, we also have a Patreon at patreon.com/ImpossibleCoinPodcast. It's where we keep our watch-alongs, where you get access to our show notes and our video essays and other bonus content that we put together for you. Outside of that, we are on social media. Brian tends to be on Facebook and Patreon. I'm on Twitter. Tegan's on Tumblr. It's all Impossible Coin. There's no underscores, dashes, or anything weird like that. If you do see an imposter, please let us know, and they will be dealt with appropriately. But that's us. That's the show.
It is indeed.
And as always, Brian is on his everlasting journey for peace.
Yep. And I say bye.
I say later.